What's up, family, friends, and foes? It's your girl, Philly Cigar Joint.
And your guy Chief, bringing you another episode of Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos. So you know what time it is. Grab your glasses and your sticks, and let's get ready to smoke another hot topic. Welcome back, family, to another episode of Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos.
My twin is out today, y'all. It's gonna be a great
her twin
show.
is definitely her Gemini twin is definitely out today. Yes.
Whatever.
And my Gemini twin is just going to deal with it.
Whatever. You know, it's 4 on this side today alone. So you know, we coming in this joint thick today. And what?
It might be. Might be 6 on that side today.
Whatever. So how you doing today, Chiefy Chief?
I am doing well. How are you doing, Philly Cigar Joint?
I am feeling excellent. All of us are feeling good.
I know
today.
all of you are. All those Geminis over there are feeling excellent today.
Anywho.
Yes. Hey, listen.
What?
I just enjoyed the game, the Colorado game just now.
Yo, let me tell you something. That was unexpected.
Yes.
But that is also great coaching, because that was definitely the tell of 2 halves.
Yes,
because the second half was nothing like the first half.
No,
the
it was
adjustments. Yo, that was a great show.
And if y'all don't know what we're talking about the Colorado USC game.
And I just called it a show because that's what it was.
Oh,
it was actually a game.
Yes.
And shout out to Omarion Miller.
Yes.
The freshman.
Yes.
Sundadandan.
Yes. And I can't remember his name, but they had a freshman cornerback as well that was playing, because of course Travis Hunter is hurt and he is a two-way player.
Yes.
But they rose to the occasion in the second half. They made some adjustments.
Nobody was expecting that.
Nobody was expecting it. I think the final score was 48-41. They lost by 1 touchdown.
Yeah, that's it.
So, yeah, I mean, so shout out to USC, but also shout out to the Colorado Buffaloes and their team, their coaching staff, and of course, Coach Prime.
Absolutely. But you know, before we get into that, I see you rocking your hat again.
Oh yeah,
we talked about that one. Really nice.
Yeah, another Angela and William. I've sported this one on the show before. It's a very comfortable one, and it's very versatile. So I can, as I've said on other shows, and I just kind of wanted to show where I can dress it up or dress it down, because today I have on my sticks, brims, and stilettos.
Now, how about
on our sticks, brims. Let me do my Superman.
Oh, shucks. Okay.
Sticks, brims, and stilettos. So yeah, it can be dressed down, dressed up.
That's right.
And what do you have on those lovely feet today?
Well, you know, since you talked so much and you raved so much about the last thigh-high boots I had on, I had to pull out the black ones today, honey. Had to pull these out. And ladies, if you missed the last show, you missed a great secret, because as I said on the last show, you can be sexy, cute, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. So guess what? We're going to pop it up again today. I got these bad boys from Amazon, and I love these boots. Yes, give it to me. And another thing I want to do, I want to shout out to my bestie, Robin, because I love my earrings. She gave me these earrings for my birthday. And she purchased these from a nice boutique in Turnersville, New Jersey, that's called Belisa, Black owned. So ladies, if you're in the area, make sure you go visit her and check her out. She got some really unique jewelry as well as clothes.
Okay.
Yes, had to do a little shout out.
Well, I'm sure your bestie appreciates that shout out.
Yes. So you know what? I think it is time to get into that time, which is crazy story time.
Crazy story time.
Roll the tape on this one. Roll it.
Only robbed the store that you see behind me, but they say that they returned to the scene of the crime to retrieve an item left behind. Can you believe it?
People work as hard for their money, and I don't think that it's okay for you just to demand free things.
At the premier nail supply store in Marietta, things are back to normal Wednesday night. But at the lunch hour, September 19th, the owner says 2 female suspects came into the store appearing to want to buy supplies. When it came time to pay, they instead ran out, carrying about $600 in merchandise. Inside the store are numerous surveillance cameras. The owner shared the footage exclusively with Fox 11. You can see the cashier and the owner, dressed in blue, chasing after the alleged robbers. But it went from bad to worse. One of the suspects returned to the store when she realized she left behind her phone, which included a driver's license. She aggressively demanded the phone back. The owner and clerk said if you return the items, we'll give you your phone back. No questions asked. Then it got really ugly. Instead, the alleged female robber gets violent, throwing the owner to the ground and roughing up the cashier, who is pregnant. Granted, robbing a nail supply store isn't exactly an Einstein move, but forgetting your phone and coming back for it, even worse. The people we spoke to here today expressed concern for the owner.
And when people just come in and steal from them, I just don't think that it's right.
Again, look at the video of the woman assaulting the owner and lunging at the pregnant woman behind the counter. Police say the theft was less than the cost of the phone. These images show the injuries to the store owner, who would not talk to us on camera, but confirmed the chain of events. The suspects left in a black vehicle. Now, according to police, they say that they located them about a mile away with the stolen property right there in full view. They were taken into custody and arrested and booked on numerous charges. Laura Diaz reporting live from Marietta. Now back to the studio.
Now, let me just say this. When you talk about dumb criminals, dun, it doesn't get dumber than that. How are you going to go into a store, steal $600 worth of product, realize you forgot your phone, which in the case had your driver's license and your credit card, and you go back to the store where you just stole $600 worth of product from and ask for your damn phone back?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's.
Listen, I can't with this one.
Yeah, that's crazy and that's dumb.
Crazy and dumb. This should have been crazy and dumb story.
and most of all, it's criminal.
Yes.
So, but hey, that's why they had a TV show that did really well. What was it? World's Dumbest Criminals or something?
Yes.
Like that? It used to be on TV.
Well, she would definitely be in the top 5. That's all I got to say.
She's not gonna make it hard to be found by the authorities. Yes. They should be able to find her.
Well, they already have.
But the fact that she went back, and actually physically fought.
Yes, and got aggressive.
With.
Yes, but here's the thing. The owner even said, you know what? Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you your phone back if you return the items that you stole. Instead of thinking and saying, you know what? Let me just return these items. Just get aggressive.
Yeah. Well.
Enough of that. I can't even take no more of that.
Yeah, enough of that. Before we go any further, I do want to let our audience know that today's show is being brought to you by our new sponsor.
Woo-hoo.
Our new sponsor, Huck Spirits, who was also on the show. Yeah, it was also on the show with us. And so with that, we just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Huck Spirits.
Huck Spirits, thank you.
Huck Spirits Sangria and its owner and CEO, Mr. Jamal Jackson. So you can order Huck Spirits and we will be giving you your promo code, your Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos promo code, so you can go on and order yourself 1, 2, 3, or they have a special.
Yes, they do.
When you go onto the website, www.huckspirits.com. Check it out and get yourself some of that smooth, delicious sangria. Huck Spirits.
That's right. Got some there.
So, Philly?
Yes. So, you know how we opened the show?
I do. We're talking about that amazing game we watched.
Absolutely. So, today we have a treat. Because this is a man who's been in the spotlight. Well, he's been in the spotlight pretty much all his life.
Yeah.
But I would say over the last 2 years, I mean, he just had a camera behind him, in front of him, 24/7. So we said, you know what? Why not dedicate a show to Mr. Deion Sanders? Let's do that. Prime time.
Himself. Deion Sanders.
That's right.
So I'm gonna enjoy talking about Deion Sanders on this show because there's so much to him. There's so much to him.
Let me just tell you this. When I was prepping for this show, I was doing research. And when I say I needed a full notebook, I needed a full notebook.
Yeah.
Because this man has done so much just in his life, period. So we want to call this episode Deion Sanders, the man, the athlete, the father, the coach.
Absolutely.
He is all of that and then some.
And much more, yes.
And I got to let y'all know. And Chief, I got to let you know.
You got to let me know, okay.
I used to have a huge crush on Deion.
Is that right?
On prime time. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes, I did. Jerry curl and all, just a dripping, and his swag and his jewelry. And yeah, listen, I used to have a big crush on Deion. So Deion, if you're watching, I'm just letting it be known. I had a crush on you back in the day.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, and we're back.
Yeah, let's skip to that. All of us over here had a crush on Deion.
Yeah, all of them. All of those Geminis sitting over there had a crush on Deion.
Whatever.
So let's get into Deion Sanders, and I have some notes here.
Yes, let's get into
that I've taken, and you know.
So let's start with this though. Let's take it back to high school, because a lot of folks don't know that he wasn't a double threat. He was a triple threat.
Absolutely.
He was a triple threat because he played them all well. Baseball, football, and track. Mm-hmm. He was a star in all three.
And part of his motivation behind playing three sports was that he was always on the field of competition, which allowed him to not be in the environment in which he was living.
Yep.
So he spent time, devoted his time into athletics, which paid off for him and also kept him from becoming a part of that cliche that we say, you know, being a part of your environment or whatever. So he detached from that and connected to athletics.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to see him just continuously succeed in so many areas of his life.
Yes.
Still today. And just to see how well respected he is. And not just on the field, not just as a coach, but as a father.
Yes.
You know, in so many areas. And a lot of people don't know he is a huge philanthropist.
Yes.
And activist.
Yes. Yes.
And he is huge on players' rights in the NFL. He spoke out about that. He was an activist in that sense. So, you know, yes, he was flashy. Some people disliked him because he was ostentatious. He was very outgoing. Some people thought he was conceited, but the man has a heart of gold. And
yes, he does.
He stands firm on his word, and he don't make no excuses till this day. Even as a coach, when they took their first L.
Yeah.
He didn't go in there and he didn't start shouting at the players, being negative. And I watched the segment after the game. He went in and talked to the players. And one thing he said that resonated with me, I said, that's fact. He went in, he said, listen. He said, you know, we took an L today. We're going to learn from it. He said, but one thing that other people should never know. They should never see you move differently, whether you win or lose. You shall always move the same way. So in essence, you learn from your mistakes and you keep it moving.
That's right.
He is such a positive coach. I love
He is. And he is very unselfish.
Yes.
As you've already alluded to. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you talked about his flashiness and people not liking him because of the flashiness. You know, a lot of times in society when you are not a conformist, when you do not conform to what the norms are, what people believe the norms are.
Right.
People will dislike you, and he got some shades of that from the media.
Absolutely.
But he also he had his response, especially the one locker room episode with the reporter that totally took something that he was doing out of support for two teams when he played both baseball and football, and totally mischaracterized Deion's intentions, totally took it out of context and what he was trying to do to play both games in a 24-hour period in the same day. And Deion gave him a response that he wasn't expecting. Yeah.
You care to share that response?
Well, yeah. Well, well, let's take a look at the footage, and it'll speak for itself. Okay. How Deion responded in that situation.
Let's take a look at it.
Tonight, Deion Sanders apparently upset with Tim McCarver's criticisms of his two-sport day last Sunday. Felt like he would gain a measure of revenge, not with champagne, but by dousing McCarver with 4 tubs of ice water. McCarver was furious. So was CBS Sports. Rick Gentile, their producer, complained to National League President Bill White last night. McCarver wants a meeting with White as soon as he can get one. And after this confrontation, Tim McCarver confronted Sanders.
McCarver's right here. Right now, here you go. I got a real man, you know that? Listen, you are a real man, Deion, I'll say that.
So yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes you got to be, as Deion said, needs to be cooled off, simmered down. And so that's basically what he helped that reporter do, cool off and simmer down.
And speaking of some notable moment with Deion Sanders is the only athlete to score a touchdown and a home run in the same week.
Yeah.
Also, how phenomenal is that?
Absolutely. And to double down on that, Deion Sanders is the only professional athlete to play in both the Super Bowl and the World Series.
Yes.
Yeah. So phenomenal. You're just talking about a superb athlete.
All around.
Yes.
All around. And we know him as the superb athlete, as you just stated. The coach, I mean, he's in the spotlight darn near every day now.
Yes.
Let's talk about who he is as a father.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's twice divorced. And with his second marriage, it was very public, his divorce. And the way he fought for his boys.
Yeah.
In 2013, it was all over the news. You couldn't get away from it. People know what I'm talking about. Back in 2013, it was always on the news. And he fought tooth and nail to get his boys. And at the end of the day, he ended up getting full conservatorship over his sons and shared custody of his daughter. And just check out how the public responded and how his ex-wife responded. Check this out.
They've gone from occasionally bickering reality show couple,
Deion, could you please get up and help me?
That ain't gonna happen, baby.
To the modern day War of the Roses.
She tried to bite me when I was carrying her out of my room.
Hall of Fame football star Deion Sanders is in one huge mess with his estranged wife and awkward housemate Pilar. She's been arrested for allegedly attacking him in the house they're forced to share during their super bitter divorce. Police were called to Deion's suburban Dallas home last night. As he left the home after the drama, Sanders told Dallas station KXAS that Pilar attacked him while their 2 sons watched.
But my son was pleading to her, get out of the room, please leave him alone. And they just headed to it and just jumped me. I promised to God on my mama, never touched her.
Just minutes after police were called, Sanders tweeted, quote, "Pray for me and my kids now. They just witnessed their mother and a friend jump me in my room. She's going to jail and I'm pressing charges."
24/7, that was my life. The courts took that ability from my children, and until I can get my babies back, how I've had them 24/7, Mama 100% and Papa 100%. They've stolen that from me.
Yeah, so I just commend Deion as being the awesome father that he is. No one is perfect. but he made sure that he fought tooth and nail to raise his sons.
Yes.
And look at them today.
Look at them today.
Look at those young men today.
Absolutely.
Especially today.
Yeah.
Because dude played his butt off.
Yes,
okay?
he did. Yes, he did. One son was injured for today's game. Shiloh was injured. But Shador, he did. He is a leader among those young men, and he's very poised.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about another time in Deion's life, right? Which is great that one, he gained the joint custody of his son's conservatorship, that he was able to be influential in their lives as they were growing up. But there was a time where Deion said, even though he had it all, he wasn't happy.
Let's stay there for a moment.
Yeah, he wasn't happy. And so we talk about in our community mental health.
Yes.
And what that looks like. And there's a nexus to this whole story that we're doing to mental health. And specifically when we talk about Deion Sanders, who has admittedly talked about the struggles that he had during a period in the window of time in his life, where he even not just contemplated suicide, he actually attempted to take his own life.
Yeah, I was suicidal. I was
that's deep.
Everything, dog. I had everything. Every time you turn on the TV, I was on every commercial, top of my game, playing 2 sports. And I tried to take myself out in Cincinnati, Ohio. Basically because my babies had been taken from me. I was up under extreme, I would call it stress, pressure. And I didn't no longer want to be here, man. And that was, God was calling me collect. And I wouldn't accept the charges. So I really had to I tried, I read, I think I was maybe in 3 or 4 that night, a couple stolen bases still. Next morning got up and it was the side of this highway, down this highway in Cincinnati, ran right off. I remember, because I don't lie for nobody, never did. And this police came down to the bottom of this runoff and he said, Deion Sanders, what happened? Did you run off the road? Did you lose control? I said, no, sir. Did somebody run you off the road? I said, no, sir. He said, what happened? I just looked at him like, you know what that is.
So here's a man that you would
idolize,
look at,
up to, admire.
Yeah. And has the world at his hand.
Yes.
But admittedly was in a place, was in a dark place, was in a sunken place where he himself said he didn't want to wake up that next day, and had everything except for happiness. And he was a multimillionaire, which goes to show
money can't buy you happiness.
It cannot buy you happiness. Now it may add to, if you're already in a happy place, then it can enhance that. But you can't just go out and buy it.
And and to your point, I truly believe, thankfully, especially today, he does a lot of referencing and he does a lot of praise to God.
Yes.
And I know that is what got him to the other side.
Absolutely.
And that's why he is so spiritual. And today, because obviously the Deion today from the Deion from 1997, when it comes to spirituality, are 2 different people.
Yes.
They're like night and day.
Night and day.
So, it just goes to show back to your point. You may have the world at your feet, you're in the limelight, you're out partying, but internally, if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied within yourself, that is something that money cannot buy.
Cannot buy.
So I'm quite sure it's tons of folks are, really happy that he was able to get through that, get to the other side, and really, be fully grounded in his spirituality today.
And a part of that is foundation.
Foundation.
And it's clear that his mother provided a very solid foundation in his life from a very young age with him and his sister.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, his father struggled with addiction. And so, his father was living a different lifestyle, but his mother said to him, he said that his mother promised him, even though your dad is not around, I'm going to be here for you and we're going to survive.
Right.
And so having that foundation is very, very important.
Absolutely.
Because if you start to drift left a little bit, you start to drift right. If you got really good foundation, you can always find yourself back to home base.
Absolutely. And you can tell that he leans on his mama a lot, even till this day.
Yes.
Because the clip that went viral is when Miss Connie Knight said, "What you won't do is play with my child."
Right.
So for those of you who missed this, check this out.
You was ready to get down. He didn't directly say something about my mama, but he alluded to the fact that his mama raised him, and my mama didn't raise me right.
I raised him right. Told him to always be yourself. If you have to kick ass, kick ass.
As Miss Connie Knight said, I raised him right, but for him to always be who he is. And if you gotta kick ass, you gotta kick ass. I love it. Shout out to you, Miss Connie Knight. I love it.
Yeah.
So, to your point, that foundation is so critical, especially as we grow into adults and we pass on those traits and those behaviors to our children.
Absolutely. And Deion, from everything I've seen, is always a gentleman. He's a gentleman. He has a lot of respect for others, a lot of self-respect. But when we start to talk about the father that he has been to his sons, he is now, and his daughter, and daughters, he is now taking on the role, and not just now because he did it at Jackson State, but he has been both father figure and coach to many young men. And a lot of what he's pouring into them, they will be able to utilize far beyond their playing days on the field.
On the field, absolutely.
And the support that he's providing to those young men, and the example that he's living, even with his health challenges.
Yes. He is definitely changing them from boys to men.
Absolutely.
On and off the field. So, and that's what we need more of. Because, one thing I hate to see, when you go to a football game and you see the coach, when the players are not playing their best and they screaming and they yelling they cursing at them. What do you think that's doing to that young man's mental state?
Right.
And I truly appreciate that about Deion.
And I think his approach to his players, even when they make mistakes, his approach really helps them keep their head in the game.
Absolutely.
They don't have to now split what they're thinking between trying to perform and disappointing the coach. Because being a former athlete myself, when that happens and you have coaches, and being a former coach myself, I can have an appreciation how that will create a duality in the young man's mind in that split second. Because now he's concerned about that you just totally berated him for the mistake. But then the next time, the next down or the next play or the next series, he has to be prepared to go back out there and have his mind on the game. So I think Deion does an excellent job of continuing to build his players
build them up and removing the noise from the background.
Absolutely.
Keeping them on that positive road. So I want to share another fun fact. So, Chief.
Yes.
Let me test your knowledge. Okay. How many ways are there to score a touchdown in football? Do you know?
How many ways?
How many ways can you score a touchdown?
You can score a touchdown one way, by crossing the goal line. That's the only way you can score a touchdown, cross the goal line.
Okay, but how do you do that? In what ways can you do that? Is what I'm asking.
You can do that running. You can do that passing. As far as touchdowns, you pretty much going to do that running or passing. You're either going to run across that goal line or you're going to pass the ball across the goal line and score a touchdown.
Okay, so I'm going to give you partial credit.
Okay.
So you can actually score a touchdown 6 different ways.
Okay.
You can run it, like you said, reception. Somebody can pass you the ball, interception, punt return, kick return, or fumble. There are only 2 players in the NFL who have done all 6. and Deion Sanders is one of them.
Okay.
And the other player is Dudley. His name is Bill Dudley.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't know that. When I was doing my research, I'm like, wow, you know how many NFL players there have been since the inception of the National Football League?
Okay.
And there's only 2 that have done that.
So you didn't ask me what types of plays can you score a touchdown. You asked me how many ways can you score. You can either score by, whether you intercept it or not, you can either score it by running it across the goal line or passing it across the goal line.
I think we're splitting hairs, but I'm gonna let that one slide.
All right, okay.
Because that is a way, right? But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. That
Deion, 6 different plays. That's okay.
Yeah. Deion is a bad boy.
Yes, he is.
Okay, and he still holds that title today. Still only 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So.
Well, I tell you, when we look at the trajectory of his life, he's also an entrepreneur as well, business owner.
Yes.
You know, he's owned businesses, owned entertainment.
Former rapper.
Former rapper.
You can't forget that.
Yeah.
How many of y'all remember that video?
Yep, absolutely. and just all around entertainer though.
Yeah.
You know, when he was playing the sport, appearing on Saturday Night Live and other shows, and just really having an opportunity to put his whole character out there, so to speak.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
And another thing a lot of people don't know, which is really not shocking because he is into fashion so much, he is a sneakerhead. He had tons of sneakers. He is known for his sneakers.
Wow.
Yes, I didn't know that. He's a sneakerhead.
Okay, that's great stuff.
Yeah, so I just thought that the timing of this show was great because, like I said, he has been continuously in the spotlight. Like I say, either you love him or you hate him. But no matter what, the man is making a positive change on anything that he touched.
Anything he touched.
Whether it's on the field, as a father, as a coach, as an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, an activist.
Yeah.
He has the Midas touch.
He's a very unselfish man.
Yes.
I remember there used to be an infomercial that he used to do. I think him and his wife used to do this infomercial with some type of exercise equipment that he was selling. But we can't ignore the fact he's also been in the booth as a sports commentator.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
An analyst.
And he tells a story about Michael Irvin helping him out when he got the opportunity to be on television. And he talks about Michael Irvin coming to his house and putting newspaper up on the wall down in his office and in Deion's office. And then he says, I want you to talk to those different pieces of newspaper, but always make sure you come back to center, because that piece of newspaper in the center is the center camera that's focused on you. Right. Those other pieces of newspaper are when you're talking to your colleagues or you're pointing something out in terms of footage. So that's the relationship that him and Michael Irvin have that they built over the years. Yeah. So, so when you talk about all of the things that he's done, all of the things that he's touched, that he's had the opportunity to do in his career, and came from a very, very economically depressed, humble background.
Yeah, but I want to take it back to him and Michael Irvin, because this week alone, just the other day, they shared a special moment, and it was really touching. So, check this out.
But let me tell you something about this guy too. Everybody, he helps everybody. When I started doing television, and I didn't have no reference because I thought I was too honest to do TV. You know how it is. First of all, I'm too honest. I'm going to tell the truth. He came over to my house. We went in my office. He set papers up on the walls at different places. He said, these are your cameras. So when you talk to me, make sure you go back to your main camera. Darn it, I'm getting emotional. This man did that for me. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. And he wanted me to be the best and prepared me for this next level of my life. That's friendship, man. No matter what goes on, that's friendship. And that's one of the reasons whenever he calls, I'm picking it up on the first ring because I love him, man. I love you, my brother. I love you too, man. I love you too. You know
This is real.
Oh yeah,
this is
100% real.
This is as real as you get.
100% real. Look, yeah, I might have to wear all black tomorrow. I'm sorry.
So I mean, the man is just he is definitely a legend in his own time, and we'd be remiss. He's also a Hall of Famer. He's a football Hall of Famer.
How can you forget that part, right?
He's a football Hall of Famer. So there's just so much to the man. So we wanted to take an opportunity to recognize Deion Sanders among all of the other folks that recognize him right now, because he has truly created a following at Colorado. And he's done well, because that team went 1-11 last year. And they're already 3 as of today.
3-2. They already surpassed last year's record.
Yeah, so they've already doubled the number of wins that they had last year, this year.
Yeah. Triple, but who's counting?
Actually triple.
But so shout out again to Deion Sanders, and I think that's a great way to segue into a smoke it or choke it. What you think?
Sure, let's get into the smoke it or choke it. I too enjoyed this segment talking about Deion, and as we transition to our smoke it or choke it, Philly, give us our smoke it or choke it for this show.
Okay. Okay, so SBS family, we have an interesting one for you all today, and we really want to hear your comments on this question.
Can I ask that question, Philly?
Go ahead, Chief.
So our smoke it or choke it segment today is interesting. So here it is. The question for you. If your significant other cheated, whether they were caught cheating or whether they self-admitted cheating, a lot of times, there's this theory, relationship theory, that if the other partner goes out and cheats, right, as some get back or, returning, the gesture, that the person who initially cheated somehow may have some relief or what have you. But recently I saw where there was a question asked, well, actually there was an offer made, right? There was an offer made where the cheater gave the significant other a hall pass. Gave the significant other a hall pass, meaning, hey, I cheated, I don't want to lose the relationship. I don't want to be worried about whether or not you're going to go cheat to return the favor. So here's the deal. You get a one-time pass to go even the score, so to speak. So that's our question to you. Would you seek to even the score using a hall pass? Or would you say, the hell with that, I don't need the pass, I'm going to even the score anyway? Or do you make some other decision?
Okay, listen. Only thing I know for me, if I catch you cheating and you offer me a hall pass, I'm going to offer you a U-Haul, because that's what you're going to need. You're going to need a U-Haul. Ain't no hall pass done.
Okay.
It's going to be a U-Haul for you.
A U-Haul, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, SBS family, how you moving with this one? You smoking it or you choking it? I may have to choke and roll out on this floor, because I'm not having it. It's not going down like that with me. That's all I'm saying.
I have to choke it as well.
Good, so we can choke each other.
No, we can choke each other.
Yeah.
You're so silly today. All of them twins are out today.
Hello. All right, so again, I thought this was a really timely show.
Yes.
Give a shout out to our man Deion, and I just thought, I loved it. It was a great show. What are your thoughts, Chief?
I did. I enjoyed highlighting Deion and showing him his respect, as they say. Give folks their flowers
while they're here.
And even though we don't know Deion personally, listen, people on the world stage can impact you in different ways. They can inspire you. Yes. There are young men out there being inspired. There are coaches somewhere that are being inspired. Pop Warner coaches that want to move to high school that want to move to college that want to move to the NFL, right? And so there are people that are being inspired by this story. And so with that, I'm happy that we did the show, Philly.
Yep. Shout out to the man, the athlete, the father, the coach. So until next time, take care.